everyone. Welcome to Sibling Sync, which is a new podcast with me and my brother uh, Greg, Coach G. We did our first podcast. Some of it got cut off, so um, just saying, bear with us. We're gonna still publish this first one, and we'll be back on at the end of the week, better than ever. Enjoy.
The other game that I watched was Golden State against Houston. Did you watch that game?
I did not. You know why? I just knew Golden State was going to win. I don't know what it was in me
So
that knew Golden State was going to win, and I just let it roll. I was just like, you know what? It is what it is. We're just gonna.
yeah, what what's a well a couple things surprised me in that game. Um, Jalen Green for the Rockets, like he's like the leading scorer,
Hmm.
and he just was missing in action. And I'm saying
They're
to myself,
young. They have the youngest squad.
I'm gonna get to that too. I'm gonna get to that too. But Jalen Green, who is their leading scorer, finished the game with 7 points. Another disappointment for me in that game was Fred Van Fleet. And he has a ring. He won a championship with
Yep.
Toronto, um, what, 2, 3 years ago.
Yes, it is.
So he only had 10 points. And I'm saying to myself, Van Fleet, you're a vet. You already won a ring. You should be able to lead this team at home. Even though Jalen Green having an off night, you should be able to, help this team, be in position to win this game.
Agreed.
And watching this game really showed me how special Steph Curry is
He's a gem.
because they were pushing him around. They was, they were all over him, right?
Oh yeah.
And he still finished the game with 31 points.
Look, I watched one of the baskets that he scored. This boy's falling out of bounds, and he just heaves it. And I'm going,
None but net.
this is going in. And
Yeah,
I was just like, yeah, seriously? Seriously. That's embarrassing for another team. And I think stuff like that takes away the heart from that team. And
it
it just
does.
makes it so hard for them to continue. For them
It
to
does.
continue to play like damn. Because I must admit, I think Green was on him for that one. He had him locked down the whole time. He didn't get off a clean shot. But the fact that he's fading away, falling out, and he heaves it right in the spot. Oh my god! I
I
was just like,
I know for sure as a defender, that's just that just take the sales out your it's demoralizing.
everything. Yes.
Like the kind of we have a guy that I play ball with in the mornings, little skinny white dude, but he'll come down court and he's jumping and shooting, right? And it's an awkward shot, and I'm like right up in his face, and I'm like, how the hell did that go in? It's the same thing with Steph. Like some of his shots, I'm like, what?
Yes. Like they're circus shots, but they work. They work, and I'm like, I don't. You know, Stephen A. calls him the best shooter that he's seen. And I cannot even deny it because that is a shooting thing. That's not even a scorer. He's a shooter.
I
He
have
knows where that basket is.
I have to agree. He's the best shooter I've ever seen in in my life.
Yes. He knows where that basket, and he will move without the ball. And I think that's what makes it even like when you watch it, it's almost like a ballet, right? You're thinking about it. He's twirling around, spinning around. You look for him. He's between, and he's dancing, and he finds his spot, and they give him that ball. Nothing but net. And you're like, how? He just ran for like 20 out of the 24 seconds on the shot clock, and he's still able to put up a good shot. You're like,
Yeah, it's just Steph is just yes. He's a genius. That's what Steph is. Steph is a genius.
there you go.
I gotta send him a Genius Minds T-shirt because he's a genius on the basketball court. That's
Agreed.
there's
Agreed.
there's really no other way to put it.
Well, that's
But
a great segue.
my
How about you tell us something about Genius Minds?
well, Genius Minds I created Genius Minds um, to really inspire the kids that I coach, and to let each and all of them know that they have genius level talent within them. So when I'm doing my coaching, when I'm in the gym with these kids, yes, we're there for basketball, but I also teach them about life. You know, so they call me Unk, they call me the OG. You know, so that's really where Genius Mind started, with me just trying to inspire these kids and let them know that they got to believe in themselves. They got to find their genius. They got to find whatever their passion, and that's how Genius Mind started.
All
Just
right.
just trying to inspire the younger generation.
Nice one.
Uh,
I like the way you spelt it too.
because everything starts in the mind. Every great idea, every great innovation, invention, everything starts in the mind, right?
Yep.
So if I could instill positive thoughts in these kids' minds, you know, I think it could take them a long ways. And not just in sports, not just in basketball or sports, but because it's not all of them gonna get a D1 scholarship or NIL deal or make it to the NBA. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? A lot of them gonna be out in the working force.
Yeah.
So if they could take what I teach them in the gym and take it out, in life, you know, I think that they're a step ahead of the competition. You know, because everything starts in the mind.
Agreed. Agreed.
So that's really what Genius Minds is all about.
All right. So for our listeners, first person who posts a positive comment on Genius Minds gets a T-shirt, right,
That's right.
from Coach G. So
That's right.
there we go. But
Yeah.
yeah, so we have. I mean, this is the best time of the year. Spring is it. We've got baseball. Look, I'm gonna tell you. I'm be honest.
Uh,
I've always had two teams. It's always been the Yankees on one end and the Dodgers on the other side.
mm-hmm.
Always. Because
Yep.
and for me it's always been an LA thing. But then I fell in love with Derek Jeter and I was like a Yankees fan for the captain
That's
forever.
that's right.
So I've had those two teams. So last year in the World Series,
World Series.
I was torn. I was torn. I was like, oh my god, I don't get what I gotta. So so I'll tell you, it's the same thing for me with football. I support the Eagles,
Okay.
and then I fell in love with Patrick Mahomes. So
Ooh.
so I started supporting the Kansas City Chiefs. So two Super Bowls now. I haven't been able to cheer. I've just been sitting. I'm just waiting for the halftime show because. But but back to baseball. Shohei Otani is doing his thing.
Yeah.
I don't know what to expect from him. But between him and the other gentleman they got from Japan. It's crazy what they can do for the Dodgers right now.
Yeah, the Dodgers are loaded. They
My God,
they are
how
just
did how did they get so blessed? No, you got to ask the question. How do you get so blessed with not
well.
one but two?
It is a component of a few different things, right? So the Asian players, guys from Japan, Korea, they really don't like going Midwest or East Coast. They
Agreed.
love they love staying West Coast, right?
Agreed. It's
And
easier to get home.
exactly,
It's
exactly.
easier to get home.
Um, and then you have an owner and a general manager that have this. They got the finances, you know,
To make the difference.
exactly. So
Yeah, I felt bad for the Yankees because uh, Juan Soto was my guy, and I live in DC. So when Juan Soto started in for the Nats, I was at
yeah,
the game. I went to a couple games to see him play.
yeah,
I
yeah.
was sad when he left for San Diego, and don't get me wrong, I supported the Padres because I lived in San Diego
You live there too.
for a few
Yeah,
years.
yeah. That's
So
right.
I went to a couple Padres games. I've never rooted against them, so to speak. So I was like, all
Yeah,
right, cool beans. But then to see him come to my Yankees, I was like, yeah, all right, yeah, we're gonna. To see him leave this year was kind of, especially for what he left for, because it worked out to about 1 million a year,
yeah.
and I'm just like, there's nothing I could do for 50 million a year that I probably couldn't do for 49 million a year.
I know. I
You
know.
know, it hurt. It hurt.
I personally think it was. I think he wanted to play with Francisco Lindor.
Uh,
That's what I think. I mean, people say it's the money, but you know, the deal that the Yankees offered and the deal that the Mets offered was pretty
was
close. Was pretty,
pretty close. Yeah,
it wasn't like it was a huge discrepancy
yeah.
in the money, right?
Right.
So I personally think that he wanted to play with Francisco Lindor, his
Okay.
compadre.
Yeah, that one kind of hurt because I was hoping to see them back again, but
I know, I know.
you know,
I wanted to run it back, but
yeah, yeah.
it is what it is. I think we still have a good enough team to get back there. You know, so
I think they will. What do you think about the new bats?
the torpedo back.
The torpedo bats. Look,
What when I heard that, man, I was like, "You kidding me, right?"
yeah, no, no, no.
At, at first, I was like, "Is it legal?"
Well, it wasn't technically, but they didn't know. But the league approved it, so I mean,
Exactly. So when I heard the league approved it, I was like, "Okay,
yeah. But I was like, only the Yankees come out with ah, you know what? We'll
but
take it.
but at the end of the day, you still have to put the bat on the ball.
Yes.
I don't care how much torpedo bat you have. If you're striking out, if you're not hitting the
If
ball,
you're not hitting the ball, it don't make a difference. Right? Look, I can't say anything because I can tell you what, one sport you wouldn't want me to play is baseball. That hand-eye coordination, I don't have it. So I'm not gonna hate on them for that. But
yeah,
yeah, you
you
gotta
can
hit
have
the
a
ball.
bazooka bat. I don't care what kind of bat you have. If you're striking out, if you ain't hitting the ball,
Yeah.
it profited you nothing.
And they
So
lost again today to the Guardians. So
yeah, I know. I watched a little bit of that. Yeah, No, I
Yeah.
tell people
Hopefully
all the
they'll
time.
get it together. That's why they got.
Was that?
No, go ahead.
No.
No, I said that's why they have 100 and something games, so they'll
Yes,
make it up.
it's a long season, so yeah. Um, but yeah, I tell all my friends out here, I root for the Dodgers when they're not playing my Yankees.
Yeah, I'm like, how did that happen, man? I'm like, really, really, I support two teams that always going to be on the opposite side of each other.
Yeah, yeah,
So
I know. But now for the longest, I've been like praying for a Yankees Dodgers World Series,
yeah, and you got it.
and yeah, I didn't like how it went down,
Yeah,
but
I kind of hoped for more of a series than what we got.
I know,
I'll be honest.
I know, I
I
agree,
hope for more of a series than
I
what we
agree.
got. But
But yeah, I think we have a good team. Both Yankees have a good team, Dodgers have a good team, so we should be able to get back to the dance.
we'll see, cause a couple teams got some skin in the game this year, and I'm just I don't know. It's funny coming from the Caribbean, right?
Hmm.
And talking about especially the smaller islands, because you don't really hear about the smaller islands and baseball. You always hear, Dominican Republic,
Public.
Cuba,
Yep.
stuff like
Yep.
that, Puerto
Yep.
Rico, but not really the small islands. But it's so funny because growing up down there, we only had US TV. And one of the few channels that used to come in my childhood growing up was TBS.
Hmm.
And TBS, that was one of their biggest draws. Besides wrestling, NWA wrestling, WCW wrestling, it used to be baseball. And they would always break away for the Braves.
Yep.
The
Yep.
other the other free channel we got was um, Chicago's very own Channel 9, WGN.
WGN. Yep. That's right.
So, so
That's
you
right.
always had the Cubs game.
That's right.
So it's so funny because when I tell people we don't play baseball down in the Caribbean, by me, I mean we play rounders, which is a form of baseball, but the bat is different, but everything else is the same.
Yeah.
I go, uh, but we never really had baseball. But it's so funny because I can relate to it because I saw so much of it. Because if you wanted to watch something and the Cubs playing and the and the Braves
The
playing, you
Braves.
pretty much had nothing else to watch on TV because those were the channels that we got.
That's right.
So,
That's right.
so,
Yeah. As a kid, I used to listen to the Yankees game on the radio, but we didn't get a lot of Yankees game on TV.
you know,
It was always the Braves, pretty much Braves and Cubs.
yeah, Braves and Cubs.
So
But it's
yeah.
so funny to be so far from it, yet so immersed in it. Because if you like sports, you're like, oh man, look at how they're playing. Well, we play that. We play rounders, but the bat's different. And but you realize that all the stuff is kind of the same. The four bases,
Mhm.
the pitcher, the catcher, like,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
I would love to see it hit some of the smaller islands because
I agree.
I think we have some people that could probably excel in it, especially with the fact that we play cricket already. So you got a lot of people that probably have that hand-eye coordination that could
Oh,
probably
absolutely.
excel.
Absolutely. I agree. Yep.
So it would be good to see somebody bring that down there and really kind of nurture it.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's the key word, nurture, because in the Dominican Republic and Puerto Rico and Cuba, they nurture the young kids
Yes.
into becoming, like really good, baseball players. And I don't think in the smaller islands, I don't think that nurturement is there, you know, because if it was, I believe we have some. I truly believe we have some talent down there.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I think the Olympics told us that we have some talented runners, athletes, just
Yep,
all over the place. I think it's about putting it all together,
that's right.
and maybe have one Caribbean. One team. Maybe you don't need everybody from Dominica, or you don't need everybody from St. Vincent. You don't
Yeah,
need one team from Trinidad.
yeah,
Let's have one team, the best team,
I agree.
with the best from each island
From each island, yeah, like an
represented.
all-star team.
And yeah, I think I want to petition that even for the Olympics. Let's put our best Caribbean out there. Why are we sending Dominica with 4 athletes, St. Lucia with 6 athletes,
I know, I know,
St. Vincent got 2 athletes?
I know.
Let's send a team just like the USA sent 100 and something athletes. I think we can put together 75 if we pull from the Caribbean as a whole.
Definitely, definitely. I think if they ever do something like that, the competition would be closer.
Yeah, even for the Virgin Islands. What y'all sent? Four athletes this year.
Yeah, it's not much.
I include the Virgin Islands. Hey, join us.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
you know, join us.
It's one Caribbean, man.
One Caribbean. Let's go. We'd be a force to reckon with. I feel like we miss out sometimes on
Yeah, yeah,
that, and people miss seeing such great athletes because
yeah. We,
we're
we
so
definitely have the
divided
talent.
in that sense.
Yeah, we definitely have the talent, no doubt.
So
Yep.
you know what's happening later this week, right? You know what's
Later this.
happening? Yep, the NFL draft.
That's right. This coming weekend, I think.
Yep, starts on
Yeah.
Thursday. I gotta ask, who do you have going number one?
Wow. Um, that's a good question.
That's a good question, huh? Got
I
you with
would
that one.
I would have to I really like Travis Hunter for
Really?
yeah, a kid that he plays both sides of the ball and he has an impact on both sides of the ball. So I really like Travis Hunter. Um but who got the first? I think Tennessee got the first pick.
Yes.
Tennessee Titans got the first pick. Um and based on what I'm hearing, I heard they're gonna take Cam Ward,
Yep.
the quarterback from
Quarterback.
Miami.
Yeah.
Um, I didn't watch a lot of Miami games, so it's hard for me to give my opinion on Cam.
So I did for research purposes. I went back and watched a few of his highlights and stuff, and yeah, he is as good as an arm as you're gonna get for
Yes,
for a quarterback, right?
yes,
So,
yes.
and I'm sorry, but these last year's draft wasn't bad, but I feel like the last 3 years the quarterback classes haven't been quite. I don't know.
I agree.
It's like it's lacking something.
It is.
I
It
used to
is.
look forward to which quarterback is coming, which whatever, but
I
I
know.
just don't see the pizzazz, and even with Shador Sanders, and I hear the back and forth about whether he's gonna go third to the
To the
um
Giants, I think. Yeah,
Giants,
yeah,
whether he's gonna go third to the Giants, or whether he's gonna fall all the way back to New Orleans or whatever.
yeah.
And I'm sitting there going, look, did he do great at an HBCU? Yes. Did he do great in a Division One school? Yes, but you still have to ask yourself:
Mhm.
did he do enough? Is he that arm? And he doesn't have the arm. We know that. So, what are you looking at if you're drafting him? Are you drafting him because of the hype of his dad?
No,
Are you drafting him because of him? And if you draft him because of him, then do you have the team around him to make him successful? Because that's what his dad did in his second year in Colorado.
correct,
The team around him in the second year was not the same team they inherited when they first came to play.
correct.
So now the question is, do
Uh-huh.
you have that team that can surround him and support him to make him successful?
The one thing I'll say that I admire about Shador Sanders is the fact that when he was at the HBCU, he didn't have a good offensive line. He went to Colorado. He still didn't have a good offensive line.
Right.
And he made plays after play after play after play.
I didn't
So,
say he wasn't smart. I said he was smart.
yeah, he definitely got an IQ.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, so I think I think whatever team that drafts him, um, I think they have a star in their hand. In my humble opinion, just because of what I've seen, you know, the pressure that he was on in college and still delivering. I think if he have a decent offensive line in the NFL, he's gonna make plays. He's gonna help his team win.
So you think the Giants are going to select him? Because they already have Russell and Jameis.
If I was the Giants, I would draft him because
Let and let him
Russ,
sit.
yeah, let him sit for a year because Russ and
Okay.
James they're at the end of their career, so they're gonna be looking for a quarterback if not this year, next year, and I would draft Shador Sanders for sure because I think he has an IQ. You know, for me, it's not all about having a big arm. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can have a big arm,
And you're
but
not accurate, right?
like, if you're not accurate and you can't read the defense, that big arm profited you nothing.
Nothing.
You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? And that's my hesitation with Cam Ward. I mean, he's a physical specimen. He's a big dude. He
Yeah.
has
Yes, he is.
he has a cannon for an arm, but I think Shador is a much higher IQ
Oh
from a
yes.
pocket standpoint, you know, than Cam Ward.
No, I agree with that. Like I said when I started, was he's smart and he has the IQ. He understands the game from a different level than I felt like a lot of college kids can master that, and
Yeah,
hands down. But that's why I also said he also needs that great team around him though, or other smart people around him to understand where he's coming from. They don't have to be great, but they need to understand his vision too.
correct, correct. So yeah, it's going to be an interesting draft. I just want to see who my Niners pick. I think we got the 11th pick in the draft, so I'm looking to see who my Niners pick in the first round. Um, I
Who's
think we
y'all's
got
Who's y'all's quarterback again?
Brock Purdy right now. Yeah, they're in contract negotiations right now with Purdy, and Purdy wants like 50 something mil a year, and I don't think I don't think he's that guy. That's
I,
that's
I
just,
I don't.
that's just my personal opinion. Um, I think he probably should get 40 to 45 mil. You know, But based on what I heard his agent wants 50 plus mil. And I just don't think he's that guy. I know Shanahan loves him, but I just don't think he's he's an upper echelon quarterback in the NFL. That's just my personal opinion. Can he prove
So,
me wrong? Maybe he can prove me wrong, but I just don't see it, especially this past year.
so you know how we talked about Tom Thibodeau and coaching
Hmm.
and his coaching style.
Yeah,
I think Shanahan is a hell of a coach. I watched what him and his dad did with um, Robert Griffin when he was here in DC.
that's right. RG3. That's right.
RG3. I watched what he did in Atlanta. I've
Hmm.
seen him. He is a hell of a coach,
Yeah.
and he took. I mean, what's the fashion model before Purdy? He took all of them and he made them look
Oh yeah, Jimmy G.
Grappler.
Jimmy G. Yeah,
Make
Garoppolo.
make him look make him look like a superstar, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And so I'm like, okay, and he did the same thing to Purdy. But I'm like, if we take out Shanahan and we put in a pedestrian coach, is Purdy just as successful? And the answer is
Nope.
no.
Nope.
So I'm sitting here going, you don't get 50 mil, bro. You take what, I'm not saying sell yourself short because you got to put some faith in you, but I don't know too many other NFL teams that are going to be like, yeah, we want you and we're going to give you that 50 mil unless they're just really desperate.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
I don't see. I mean, I know he's a good kid. He was the last pick in the draft. Um, he took us to a Super Bowl. Um, so all of that is a plus, but I still don't see elite in him as from the quarterback position.
yeah.
So I think I think I think the 49ers are going to end up overpaying him, which is going to hurt us as far as signing other players. So we'll see what happens.
All right. Well, we've come to the segment of what's on your mind. It's all you, Coach G.
Yeah, just my thoughts for this. What's today? Monday, the day after Easter. Um, First and foremost, I want to have a moment of silence for the Pope. May he rest in peace.
Amen.
Um, Based on all the interviews and people I hear, talk about him, he was a really, really kind man. Um, Came from humble beginnings. Um, Really humble guy. So I just want to say, rest in peace to the Pope, um, and condolences to his family. And another thing that's on my mind, what's going on politically here in the United States, with the tariffs and inflation and, you know, cost of living seems to be going up. I just want to encourage everyone to Don't put your faith in man. Don't put your faith in the government. Put your faith in God. With all that we have going on in this world and right here in the United States, whether you're a Democrat or Republican, um, the struggle is real for all of us. But at the end of the day, put your faith in God. Don't put your faith in man. And that's just my thoughts for today.
All right. I agree. I agree. Put your faith in God, because you know it's uh it's funny because friends always let you down, um and um I watched people say kids learn, behaviors, and it's so true.
Yep,
My my youngest, um his birthday was Saturday,
that's right.
and we had nothing really planned. It's also spring break, so everybody's kind of everywhere, parents taking their kids. And we're like, well, what are we going to do? Because last couple times I tried to have a party,
Uh,
you pay all this money for urban air and all this stuff, and the kids don't show up. And he has this one good friend, and just on a whim, I said, hey, man, we're going up to the mountains. Since you guys can't go on your trip to New York, why don't y'all join us in the mountains?
yeah,
Just on a whim. Didn't know if they could afford it, if they could come. Next thing I know, not only did they come, they brought their family, they brought, you know, uh, a cousin with them. We all planned to go to the water park. They all went to the indoor water park together. The kids are playing.
nice.
We met the next day. They're ready to go. We're there, go karts and bumper cars and everything. And if you see them, they can't be more different, right? And even with me, my partner and I, a lesbian couple.
Mhm.
One is an Indian and African American couple, and the other one is an Indian couple. All Indian couple. But
Yeah,
all the kids there playing together, all of us together, had a great time. It didn't matter about where we were from, our backgrounds. All we saw was people,
right.
and we just had a good time. And I think if we could just get to that,
Yeah,
it's so much better in this world.
I agree.
Just get to where you see the person, not the color of their skin, not what their hair looks like, just the person.
That's right.
But
Yep.
I still got Lakers in five. All right. And so with that, we'll end our first sibling sync. Um, and we'll hope to come to you at least once a week, um,
Yes,
wherever you get your podcast.
that's right.
Coach
And
G,
to anyone that subscribes to our podcast, you get a free Genius Minds t-shirt.
there we go. Some Genius
So,
Minds gear.
so sign up. And always remember, there's a genius in all of us. Everyone watching this, the genius in all of us. But you got to believe in yourself.
All right. And with that, have a wonderful evening.
Until next time,
Yes,
peace and love.
sir.